Hey, what's up, YouTube? Boswell back with another video for the Husband Code. Tonight, I want to talk about the power of apologizing. And this one really means a lot to me because, for my own personal relationship, you know, I wasn't really good at sincerely apologizing. And that's because I wasn't taking responsibility. But after a while, if you want to be a great leader, you want to be a great husband, then you have to really learn to use the power of apologizing effectively and sincerely. So I got my notes today, and I want to make sure that I'm thorough with what I'm communicating to you guys out there. So first thing first, man. I know, like I said, a lot of men have egos, and they feel like they don't have to apologize for anything. And then there's another side of guys who just be simping, feel like they gotta apologize for every little thing they do. And so, I'm gonna try to make sure, I'm attempt to make sure that I'm just, being very clear about, my message or whatever. But let's talk about, I guess, some examples on when you should apologize. For number one, you should apologize for not keeping your commitments. And that's just like, hey, if you got something y'all plan, just really making sure you execute and follow through. Like if you plan a date night, make sure you go through with that date night, right? And don't get me wrong, emergency can happen, but you have to make sure that you thorough with executing because, I think that just shows leadership and that shows a man who keeps his word. So make sure you follow your commitments, even when it comes to your kids and stuff like that. And they expect you to be there for their baseball games or football, sports, whatever event they have. Making sure you're showing up for them, because in turn, that shows even your wife that you can be trusted, and your kids can be trusted. And that's just another leadership aspect of it. So you got to keep your commitments, man. But even outside of your family, outside your immediate family, when it comes to friends and stuff like that, these people got to know they can count on you, and just you just being a man of your word. And again, things happen where you can't, always, hit those commitments. But for the most part, if you plan to execute, you should be able to be on point. But not keeping those commitments that you said you were gonna do, yeah, you definitely gotta apologize for that and be sincere, because that's the lack of leadership. Another thing, just not being consistent. If you know, for me, I always use my example. Like every Monday, I check my wife's oil and gas. For a long time, yeah, I didn't do it, and it was just like, dang, now I'm taking, she would ask me to do it and things like that. I'm like, oh, I get to it, and it just not being consistent, man. And it's like, dang, what really caught me was, I think one day she was getting ready to go to work, and I forgot to put gas in the car. You know what I mean? Another time I forgot to check the oil, and it's like now she's like mad. She's like, I just do it myself. But it's like, dang, I couldn't get my wife no gas, or check her oil, make sure she good to go. Her endeavors. Come on, man. I'm a man. You gotta be able to step up and knock those things out and be consistent with it. That's the thing about it. Why don't be forgetting to take the trash out on Tuesday nights when we gotta be picked up Wednesday, or get up early and take it on Wednesday. But what I'm saying, you can't be not being consistent with your duties as a husband, and just your commitments and duties to your wife, whatever that is that y'all have y'all agreement on. But you got to be consistent in whatever you do. And if you're not, man, you first of all, you got to realize it, and then you got to apologize for it. And I just think that that's just an example on reason you should apologize. And one more is just using ego versus emotional intelligence. So like I just said, I think that sometimes I can have a big ego, but a lot of times I don't even want to say the nature of men. Sometimes we can be aggressive in that way. But I think this is what I think. I think it's just a lack of emotional intelligence. So I made a video. I should go check it out. But it's called Emotional Intelligence. And basically, I talked about how a lot of men, especially like myself, we grew up, not understanding emotional intelligence, or even having an emotional vocabulary to articulate how we feeling and everything that encompasses that. So I think that's what it is. A lot of us get frustrated. We don't know how to express how we feel. And so our first reaction is ego, right? Anger, masculinity, like. And I'm not saying you can't be a man in that and show, strength. But a lot of times, just your lack of awareness on how you feeling, how to express it to your partner, and until you get some know with all about that, like get some consciousness behind it, get some information on how you feeling, and dive deeper into that when situations arise. You're gonna keep feeling frustrated, and your ego gonna keep showing, right? And then you have to apologize, because we know when especially for us, that's the one thing emotionally for men. I feel like when we get into our ego, we don't think straight. We're very reactive. Um, we just really attack what's in front of us versus really sitting back and taking the time to think about the situation. We just let our ego take over, and we make rash decisions, and it's not good. And we always got to circle back, because we spur the moment, try to make a quick decision based on our emotions and how we felt, and we lash out, right? We use ego, and so a lot of times they get us caught up, and so we got to circle back to apologize for that. So those are three examples really quick, but we still got some more. So when it comes to the power of apologizing, apologizing shows emotional maturity, right? So when you apologize sincerely, it really shows your wife, your partner, your spouse, um, that you're a mature man, you're a grown man, that um, you're not lacking the depth of consciousness about problem solving and issues that you should be aware of. You know what I mean? And so, and when you're at fault. So, like, if you know you did something in the wrong, or maybe you didn't even know, but you got a chance to thought about it, was like, man, I went about that the wrong way. And that you can circle back and really, like, break down and, like I said, articulate, hey, this is how I was feeling. I was wrong about it. And this is why, right? And if you can really, lay that out and explain it, dot by dot, I think that shows emotional maturity. And so, yeah, I think emotional maturity is a big one that apologizing, the power of apology, shows, right? The next one with apologize, it builds trust and connection, right? So, like, if you can apologize, and you can see when you're at fault, right? People can trust that you're not using ego, like you can never be wrong or anything like that. I never want to be around somebody who felt like they never wrong. Like, bro, like, man up, you know what I'm saying? Be like, dang, you know what, I ain't go about that the wrong way. And that even show for other men that they can trust you, because if you do something in the wrong, but you always think you right, it's like, I don't trust your judgment. You know what I mean? And so therefore I can't trust you as a person. And so it goes, all the way back around to your significant other. So, like, they got to be able to trust you, but you have to be able to, apologize, which builds trust and that connection. Because they're like, man, this is a grown man. Now I can trust his judgment, because even if he is in the wrong, he knows where he made his mistakes and he learned how to fix them. You know what I mean? And so now I can trust him, and now I can connect with him, because now we got a stronger bond, because maybe, they felt like, right, they could trust you. And so now that the trust is connected, now you have a strong connection, right? So apologizing builds trust and connection. The last one I want to talk about is apologizing. It just shows you taking responsibility, and it leads to resolution and growth in your relationship. So, like, I just kind of touched on taking responsibility by admitting fault, right? But again, it just comes down to that grown man maturity um, when it comes to apologizing. You just taking responsibility, man. You taking fault, and again, that just leads to resolutions. And when you not taking responsibility, the problem never get fixed, because you constantly saying, you know what, I'm not going to take responsibility for this problem, so the problem never dissipates. The problem never gets solved. Nothing ever gets fixed. It's just now two people looking at the same problem. But when you take responsibility, and again, everything not always going to be, I don't want you to say that, because I think a lot of times, no, every once in a while, I feel like, it could be the other side, your wife's fault or something like that. But again, I'm wholeheartedly about 95% of the issues be the guys not leading, us not taking command of the situation, us not being responsible, us not apologizing to fix the situation. I'm always gonna press on that. We got to lead as men. And it starts with apologizing when you know you're wrong, when you know you're at fault. Be a man, step up, man. Like, really dissect and think about, okay, put yourself in their shoes, or man, look at this situation from the other side, and that just start from looking internally too. But you got to be able to want to take responsibility and stop playing victim. Again, I say it all the time in my videos connected because it's simple. It really is. When you really look at it at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is just simple, and it's just the willingness to do it, and circle back, the willingness to apologize, and that's just a man who's mature. That's a man who knows himself, and he knows the value he can bring. But sometimes start with apologizing for different things. So, but like I said, taking responsibility will lead to resolution and growth. So the last part of that is growth. When people know you take accountability and responsibility, then that problem I told you about that you didn't take responsibility for, it gets fixed, right? And so guess what? Now y'all can move on. Now y'all can grow from that situation. Now y'all can build from that situation because you're not stuck at this point in a rut, continually circling back to this problem. It just sitting there festering, right? So I just wanted to drop that on y'all today, man. You got to apologize as a man when the time right. And again, that don't mean you simping, right? Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. Blah blah blah. Like, no. If it's something serious, like, yeah, I feel like a lot of times, and it's not me talking ego. Like, yeah, a lot of times as a man, we're gonna make decisions, and that's what it is. You know what I mean? Now, will we be right all the time? No, that's just a part of the journey. But when we do something that can potentially hurt the household, hurt yourself, or hurt somebody else in that decision, um, sometimes we're not right, and sometimes call a situation where we have to apologize to fix it. Be like, man, hey, I'm sorry, I ain't go about it the right way, or hey, I didn't make the right decision, you know, and that's fine. But you have to apologize. That's the only way it's going to start to build a bridge to get whatever that problem fixed. So again, don't be out here simping and trying to apologize for every little thing. Look, no wife, no woman wants that, but they do want you to be a man about serious problems or situation that arose, for you to apologize for it. And that way, it kind of, like I said, lends itself into fixing the problem or solution. So, the power of apologizing, man, that's really what it comes down to. So, I just want to drop that on y'all today. Hey, like the video, drop a comment below. If you liking the content, subscribe. If you're new here, subscribe. And also hit that notification bell. I appreciate you guys. Much love. Thank you for keeping, watching my channel. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.